Hi, everybody. This is a Be Inspired webinar. Once again, this webinar is focusing on, I've selected a video, which is our prep material. And rather than looking at this video, which is a person who is using ASL, rather than looking at this video in ASL and focusing on how to voice it, which is what we typically do when we're practicing as interpreters, we often forget to utilize, study, recognize all of the beautiful ASL that's also being used in this video, or in any videos that we happen to see, or even live deaf people talking. We tend to be watching for receptive practice or for voicing practice, but we totally neglect actually catching the things that they're doing and analyzing it and thinking about why and how we can use it in our own ASL. So that's what we do in these webinars. Okay, so the video that we are using today is posted by NAD. It's on NAD Vlogs on their YouTube channel. I highly recommend the NAD Vlogs YouTube channel because they post videos very, very often, and they are all captioned, which is great. So if you're practicing on your own and you're looking for material for that, any receptive practice, voicing practice, or you're just analyzing ASL, that's a great YouTube channel to go to. And it's also great because they have a variety of different signers. It's not just one person. You're going to get a variety of different signers. So this one is called YAP Spotlight. And so note that, because obviously she's probably going to be talking something about YAP in there. And her name is Tania. And so if you're looking to follow along with this webinar, go ahead and go to the NAD Vlogs YouTube channel and find the YAP Spotlight video with Tania. Okay. Before we got started, I was talking to Amy here, and she was talking about, we were discussing together the challenges with catching acronyms. And so if you pull up this video and you find yourself going, oh my goodness, acronyms, it is a challenge. It's a challenge for everybody. And the reason for that is because of lack of context. All of us in the field, there are many things that we all collectively have the same challenges with. And I would say numbers 1 and 2, and they're very, very close in difficulties, is acronyms. And second, and again, it's a close second, is numbers. And then we have fingerspelling that comes after that. But even fingerspelling often has context. We know most people's names are we've heard the name before, we've seen the name before. Not all names, of course, that could be a challenge too. But so we can often guess at names or guess at what fingerspelling is. It's still a challenge, but it's lower on the list. But acronyms, because we have no context, can be a big challenge. Same with numbers. Numbers just fly at you and you just have to kind of like, guess it, catch it, guess it. So it's collectively problem. Now, if you got an interpreting assignment and you knew you were interpreting for Tania and she's talking about the reason why she became a youth ambassador, joined the youth ambassador program, then you would have that going into the assignment. Okay. Do either of you have any other just general questions about the message or about interpreting this that you want to bring up before we start talking about specifics in the ASL use that you noticed, and then how we might be able to apply that to our own ASL? Anything about the message that you were confused about, or any other challenges or voicing suggestions or thoughts or anything? Go ahead, Daniqua.
Just in general, this video was difficult for me to receptively comprehend. I don't know if it's because she has a unique signing style. Some of her signs were a little different, so they kind of threw me off. I didn't write down this, but like, I think she does first kind of like this, and I know it's not a big difference, but she had it on her mouth, which is the only way I caught it. And then she does this to the side, and I knew kind of what that meant, but I've never seen it like that. So there's a few signs in here that she kind of does that just kind of completely threw me off. And without captions, I definitely would not have been able to voice this video. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. So that's a good point about her unique signing style. I I I have seen her signing style before. And so I don't, but I do find it to be unique. I don't, but because I've seen it before, I think it's associated. There's something, she's associated with somebody, other people who do the same thing. It could be a regional thing. It could be an age thing. She's young. It could be a cultural thing. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but for example, you mentioned this sign, I cannot talk today. This sign, what she does is she role shifts beautifully throughout this video. So she depicts using constructed dialogues beautifully and noteworthy. So hopefully, if you haven't done this yet, go back through and just notice how she role shifts. But something about her role shifts really interesting. So she shifts to become her friend, talking about the YAP program. And then she says my friend did explain, and then she shifts slightly and she says, explained all of these things, explained all of these aspects about the YAP program to her, right? And then she goes, me, and then she signs this, and this means I was a mouth agape. So basically, she was shocked, jaw dropped. So under the chin, like this. But what's interesting to me about this sign is it's pointing way back, almost behind. So typically, when shifts happen, it's shift. She explained all these things to me, and then me look at this way, okay? Or me agape this way. I was shocked looking at her this way. But she turns way back here and angles back. And she does it not only with this sign, but also with the look at sign, which look at is very, very common as a response to a dialogue. Deaf people will often respond just with a look at, but the look at isn't normally to the back like this. And so her response, she angles really far back, and that's a unique, again, not unique in that I've only ever seen her do that, but I've seen only a few people do that. So again, it could be a certain accent, it could be a regional thing, it could be age, it could be, I don't know, it could be a lot of different things. Interesting observation, good one. Okay. Anything else about, again, meaning before we jump into her signs? Challenges, unique.
Did she, at 3 seconds, I swear I did it like in slow-mo. She does not finger spell the entire word ambassador, does she? She has it on her mouth, and I see like A-M-B and then like D-R maybe. But she doesn't finger spell the whole word, does she?
Let me see. Whoopsie, hold on. Let me see. No, she doesn't. Very commonly when there's a word that the speaker assumes that you guys already know, that the audience already knows, not you guys, but the audience already knows, it often is thrown out there like that. And that's what she does with that. She spells her name perfectly clearly. She spells YAP perfectly clearly. And then she's like, well, you guys know that it's the Youth Ambassador Program, so I'm your Youth Ambassador. And she does that. She misses the B, AM. She goes right from AM to the DOR at the end. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I'll start with this one. I'm going to guess that neither of you guys noticed this one. So I'll start with her use of fingerspell did. Did you guys notice her fingerspell did in there? Okay. Someone emailed me about it. And actually the person who emailed me wasn't sure what she was signing at a couple of spots in this. And it actually ended up being did both times, interestingly enough. Fingerspell did is, usually used for emphasis. So like to emphasize that you absolutely did something or that really did happen. Sometimes when somebody else is in doubt, you might say, you know, I did go there and I saw that. I did do it, fingerspell D-I-D. When you see, oh, let me tell you where it is. Sorry. She does it first at 11 seconds. So if you have it up, you can look at 11 seconds. You might want to go to 10 seconds so that you can go into it. And then she does it again. At 1, I should have put the time in there, sorry. It's at happy I did fill it out. 1:26. Happy I did fill it out. So she doesn't actually really use them in the way it's typically used. She just uses them a lot. So, but she does fingerspell did at 11 and again did at 1:26. But again, it's funny because we take a look at this language from all these random people all over the country, and we analyze what they do, and you know, everybody kind of speaks in their own way, and not everybody follows the rules of language, right? So, like for instance, I have a friend who loves the word legit, an English speaker. Actually, she's an interpreter too, but English, not a deaf person. Loves the word legit. And so she says the word legit in like every third sentence. I legit went to this place and got this lunch and it was legit delicious. Legit doesn't fit in there grammatically. It's just a funny thing that she says, even though it absolutely breaks every rule in English, right? And so we take the same thing happens in ASL. People don't necessarily sign in exactly the way that they're supposed, you know, that's technically the correct way, but she chooses to sign did in a few different spots in this in a different way than is typical. So one example, like if you were there are a lot of different ways that fingerspell did used in the proper way, the technical way, could be applied to your work. So if you were, let's say, interpreting and the speaker said, I sure enough tried the hottest sauce available, right? I tried the hottest sauce that was there. I sure enough did. Okay. So the idea that, like there were all these sauces and I was there and I tried the hottest one. The fingerspell did would be a really great way to emphasize that, like, yeah, I true biz did, you know, different sauces available. The hot, I did taste that one. Whoo, you know, whatever, hot. So that kind of idea of that feeling of like, I sure enough, or yeah, I did that. That feeling can be conveyed by that fingerspell did. All right. What ASL use did you guys know in that video?
I have one.
Okay.
It said 10 seconds. Didn't you say she did 10 seconds? I have it down written as 10 seconds. When she does this, like, face that she doesn't sign, I thought about it, or I thought about it. She does this, I was thinking about it before I think she got into the YAP program. She was thinking about it before she decided to go into it. And instead of just, we often hear, I think, or I was considering it, we kind of sign it. She kind of did this. So I was doing that face. So I thought that was an ASL moment.
Okay. Let me look at that again. Your video froze, and so I couldn't see what you did, but I do see what you're talking about. Let me just watch that. Okay. Yep, right at 10 seconds. So that's good. She just literally goes, me, in that face. Like that. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not doing it for a very good copy of it, but it is like right at 9 or 10 seconds. Right at 9 or 10 seconds. It's actually, let me look at that again. It's actually, so she introduces the video by saying, let me talk about why I got involved in the YAP program. Okay. And then she says, so the face that you're seeing in that case is actually kind of like, well, or so. It's not actually I'm gonna watch it one more time. Like she's kind of thinking about how to start out telling this story. So I'm your YAP ambassador. I'm gonna talk about why I got involved in it in the first place. And she goes, okay, well, and then she goes into, my friend talked about it. My friend explained it to me. My friend did explain it to me. And that is a good way to convey that idea of, well, the thinking process of how to start a story. And so often when we interpret, we hear somebody go, okay, so let me tell you about why I'm a teacher. Well, so back in the 19 whatever. And so they start the story. We hear so well, and we'll sign so well. And we see now that those specific signs are not necessary to convey so well or well. You can just go and show it on your face in a non-manual way, and then jump into the story like she did. So good. That's a good observation. It's always nice to be able to conserve signs too. For your own physical reasons and for your mental reasons, for your lag time reasons. Anytime you can, get rid of a sign, it's always a nice thing. Amy, did you have one? If the answer is no, that's okay too.
I didn't have exactly signs like that. I was a little thrown off when she signed something like recruit. I've never seen the way that she signed that. I've seen it in a different way.
How have you seen it?
Recruit.
Yep, recruit. Yeah, I actually have never seen it like that, exactly like that either. So I've seen recruit definitely, or like if you're recruiting one person, I want to recruit you. If I'm out and about recruiting, then it could be recruiting. I also sign this a lot for recruiting, like come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. We need people. Come here, come here, come here. And she just signs it like this. One like this. They're recruiting one time. I'm doing it much larger than she did it, but she did it one time, which did throw me off. I will admit, watching this, I was like, that's a strange sign. So yeah, I actually tend to sign recruit like this. When it's multiple people recruit, but I've never seen recruit like this. So I thought that was interesting too. Good observation. Okay, I will go next. So I want to talk about the sentence where she signs this, okay? Not so much this sign as much as the way she says, I'm going to find the exact start. At 10 seconds, she says, friend did, and then she shifts slightly. Oh, hang on a second. What's that next sign? Friend did. Okay, yeah. Friend did, and then she signs explain by shifting slightly to where her friend is in space, explain. And then she signs a couple of things that I'm not copying. And then she signs this. Okay? And I wanted to point that out because what in English, the equivalent or of that is something along the time is something along the lines of my friend explained the program to me, or my friend explained aspects of the program to me. My friend talked about things about the program. Okay, something like that. And so this idea of aspects of, or she explained things about the program, or she explained the program to me, to connect that concept of there, you know, a program has multiple parts and she explained them all and she signed it this way. That's an important realization. In the current processing program that's going on right now, I'm noticing that a lot of interpreters are struggling with when to kind of put specifics in their interpretations and when to keep it general. And so if you had a situation like a sentence like, if you were interpreting a sentence like, they told me about the ins and outs of the process, okay? They told me about the ins and outs of the process. A lot of interpreters might be compelled to go, okay, well, what are possible ins and outs of the process, and then give specifics. So they might roll shift properly, right? And then shift and go, they, and then go, okay, the process has, you know, food, and the process has paperwork, and the process, and list assumed aspects of the process. But they don't realize that they could go, they explain the process involves these things, and leave it at that. The ins and outs of the process could simply be interpreted by using this, rather than sort of trying to find, you know, what assumed parts of the process might be. Does that make any sense? Am I just like rambling? Kind of, sort of? Okay, let me make sure Amy's on board too. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, a lot of things that doing this generically really covers a lot of different ideas. It's a real, I don't want to say a go-to, you could do it for everything, but it really does help with concepts like, you know, aspects of, and elements. You know, let's talk about the different elements of the procedure. You know, today your procedure, I will discuss what's involved, the different elements. So anyway, take a look at that, because it's a really, really useful way to explain a lot of different ideas in ASL. And I actually I'll do the next one too, just because she does sign, her response to this was this shock. You could think of that as, you know, we just did the sentence, they told me about the ins and outs of the process. If the response in English was, I couldn't believe what she was telling me, okay? I couldn't believe what she was telling me, 8 words in English, all that could be conveyed with that one sign. Me, shocked, done. I couldn't believe what she was telling me. And then you could just use that one sign to convey that. So, and certainly that sign shock could be shock, or I'm giving it that word, but it can be, there's lots of other English words that could be associated with this sign. But this sign could be used in many, many other contexts as well. Anybody else have anything you want to bring up about her use of ASL that you noticed? Go ahead, Daniqua.
At 102, I have swaying back and forth, so I think she was kind of like hesitant about something, but she didn't sign, I, you know, wasn't sure, or I didn't know. She kind of just did the motion, and then the captions had for she hesitated about something.
Yes. Yeah, she absolutely does. So, so I don't know what part we're in here. Let me just go back a little bit. This is after the discussion. Okay, so she has a discussion with a bunch of people of color, interpreters of color. They had this great conversation, and then she realized she took a lot from this conversation, and she's trying to figure out what we uncovered so much that needs to be done. What can I do to to work on this? What can I do? How can I give back to work on this stuff that we just uncovered in this great discussion? And then she says, oh my goodness, oh no, we're still in it. Okay, so she goes, oh right. She goes, yes, YAP, that's what I could do to give back. And then she goes to her friend. It's cute the way she does it. She goes to that same friend that told her about it earlier, right? My friend, she says, hey, my friend, you know, hey to my friend. So I contacted my friend about it, and they had a long talk about it. And that's when her response to her friend was, yeah, so that's exactly right. She was like, at that point, still not sure. So after this big discussion, she contacts her friend about YAP, and and this is her looking at her friend, kind of still uncertain about what decision she's going to make about YAP, and then she ultimately joins. So yes, that uncertainty we might hear in English and sign not sure, or sign not sure, or sign I don't know, right? But now we know we have this other option that might even be better, conserve some signs, just go ahead and do it. Yeah, that's a good observation. Yes, good. Oh, go ahead. Response to that?
Yes, you had it. That was one of my next ones. How could you use I loved it, but I would have never said this right here. I have to do something about it. And I was thinking in other ways I could use that, and I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I've got
it
nothing.
Really is, if you can just almost imagine this sign, right? So we often think about brainstorming as this. We all come together and our thoughts get thrown into the pot. So after all of our thoughts get thrown into the pot, we are left, we have them all right here. And that's kind of what she got from this great meeting that she had. So it's, you know, what you gain from a really, really great discussion. Lots of minds convened, and we had a great discussion. And boy, did I take with me so much. I took so much with me out of that meeting. So I actually wrote something down. What did I say? We all got together. We had a valuable conversation, and I took so much with me to work on. I took so much with me to work on. So anything that comes, often this is also signed for giving of yourself also. And so this could even be what people brought in. You could say people, this meeting, we got together, I gave, he gave. Whew, rich. You know what I mean? So this is often given, you give, let me give this, let me give of myself. And now that I'm saying it out loud, this is also used a lot. When I say give of myself, it sounds like this very poignant thing, right? I'm giving of myself, but it's not always used that way. Kind of sharing from the heart is maybe a little bit lighter way to put it. I see a lot of people vlogging on YouTube, and they'll say, you know, I just want to put this out there. I want to just kind of share from my heart here about this topic. A little bit less of a poignant way to use that sign. So it can be used in a very touching way, but it can also be used just to say, this is just what I want to, these are my thoughts on the subject, you know, from the heart kind of a thing. Very useful, useful classifier, used in that way. That's something I see kind of a lot and I don't use enough. So I need to start incorporating that more in my own interpreting also. And that's all I actually had. That was my last one, this sign. Anybody have anything else that you gained from her ASL in that video?
There was one more thing that I was a little bit surprised by. I just have never seen it before. Opened my eyes. Whenever she signed that, I was kind of
open my eyes. Yeah, I like that too. I didn't write it down, but I like that too. Yeah. Let me find. Do you have the time by any chance of where that occurs in the video?
Sorry.
I think it's right. Yep, it's right over here. I'm close. She's in the discussion. There it is. Open eyes. Yes, open eyes. I've never, she says, open eyes. I've never seen that before. Open eyes. It was clear as a bell what she meant, even though I'd never seen it before. So it's one of those things that because I've never seen the concept of eye opening signed in that way, I'm going to tuck it in the back of my head and see where else I see that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll use it and play with it a little bit, but I'm not going to like say, this is a thing that people do, because I'm not sure about that. I've never seen that before. I did really like it, and so again, it's worth playing with, but yeah, not sure how widespread that is. Usually for that idea of opening, of like a eye-opening experience, you'll see like this, well, what I just did could work. Eye-opening is, wow, that could work. Certainly this is signed a lot for eye-opening experience, where, spit all over the place, where the head classifier is thrown back that way. Like, whoa, it was, you know, eye-opening. It was shocking in a positive way. It really took me back, all the discussion that we had. So that signed a lot for that. Open eyes. I mean, that seems like a really clear idea. So I don't know why we wouldn't all just use that, but I've never seen anybody sign that before. Very cool. Yeah. Anybody else? Anything else?
Nicole, can you tell me what she does at 28 seconds? I just have time passing with a star by it. I think it's an ASL feature.
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I know what you're asking about. Let me just double check. Oh, by the way, you mentioned first before, and I see a lot of people signing first like this lately. I don't know why, but I don't know why, but I see a lot of people signing first like this, so it's probably just an alternate version of first. And I, again, don't know why. Could be a regional thing, but I see enough people signing it that it's definitely a thing. Anyway, oh no, at 28 seconds? Okay, she signs, let me go back a little bit. It's not what I thought you were gonna ask about. So this is right after her friend tells her how great the YLP, I don't know why. You know why I'm messing up on YAP is NAD has a program called YLC, the Youth Leadership something, committee, council, I don't know, club. And I see videos about YLC all the time. And so the YAP is just messing me up. Anyway, her friend just told her all about how great the YAP program is. And she goes, and then she goes, just that. Is that the sign that you're thinking about? Or that you noticed?
I don't think so, but I don't have the opportunity to bring the video up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
ASL feature about time passing. That's all I have. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to just guess that you're talking about this other thing. So I don't know where that is in the video either, but I don't know the exact timestamp, but at some point she says, yeah, I think it's when she decided to do it. So she decides to do the YAP thing. Oh, I think she fills out the application and then she goes something like, hup. And then she goes, and here I am now. Okay, here I am now. And she shows her shirt that has the YAP thing symbol on it. And so, yes, it's like, and then that brings me to today. And then, so it's a quick fast forward in time she does. It's probably sometime in the 1 minute and, let's see if I can find, oh, I just landed right on it. Yay, that never happens. It's right at like 105. If you start at 105. guys can see that. Quick fast forwarding in time. You guys saw that? So that was a cool use of sign. I've never really seen that exactly that way before, but yeah, it was just she filled out the form, or maybe she filled it out this way, and then time moved on. So, and that brings us to now. Here we are. I'm part of the program. Yeah. Quick fast forward. That is a neat use of time. Absolutely. Yeah, I would tend to do it like this with the non-manual, moving forward just quickly in time. So she does it like even more dramatically. Kind of neat. All right, well, thank you too for showing up. Some people had some weather issues and family issues, so thank you guys for making it. Everybody remember that when you are practicing voicing, whenever you have ASL in front of you, there's always something that you can gain from taking a look at actually how they're communicating what they're saying, and you can incorporate that into what you guys do. Any final questions? Awesome. Have a fantastic evening. And we're going to have another one of these in a few weeks. Take care, guys.